Yeah, I've seen it all. From corner hustles to courtroom busts. From fast money to feds knocking at dawn. I took bullets, did bids, buried soldiers I called brothers. But I ain't here to glorify it. I'm here to break it down. This ain't gossip. This ain't no rap blog. This is history, straight from the pavement. You tapped into Crime Town TV, where street legends live on in ink, not in rumors. I'm Hank, the voice that survived it all. Now I'm telling it all. Let's talk about it. Anybody that wants to support the channel can cash at me at CHank for promotion. Contact cworld215@gmail.com. What's up, Crime Town TV family? Buckle up as we take you on an electrifying journey through the chilling ascent and savage descent of a name that echoes through the alleyways of the Bronx. Boy George Rivera. This isn't just a tale. It's a piece of gritty history steeped in the raw pulse of the streets column. Let's set the scene. Picture the South Bronx in the 1980s. The skyline is punctuated by charred buildings, and the distant blare of sirens serves as the city's eerie lullaby. This was the Reagan era, a time when the blue uniforms only materialized when there was a corpse on the pavement. The neighborhood was on the brink, hungry and desperate. It was a breeding ground for hustlers. Yet, George emerged as an anomaly. While most kids his age were dodging truancy officers, George was busy orchestrating numbers that would make Wall Street's finest envious. By the age of 21, he plunged headfirst into the underbelly of the heroin trade, raking in a staggering $250,000 a week. And this wasn't just any drug, it was high-grade heroin, meticulously packaged and marketed. Bags branded Obsession or Sledgehammer, that was his signature touch. George was no amateur. He operated with the precision of a seasoned CEO. Rivera established strict rules and protocols that rivaled any legitimate business operation. He had uniformed runners, assigned corners, and most critically, an unwavering emphasis on discipline. Cross him, and you might find yourself vanishing without a trace. Remember Tony, the one who squandered $600,000? He learned the hard way. Beaten, shot, and a grim message sent loud and clear. And then there was Sinbad, a close confidant, who mysteriously disappeared, only to be discovered later in a grisly state. Mistakes were not tolerated in George's world. That's where Juan Kong Diaz came into play. When Kong showed up, it was never for a casual chat. George didn't just reign over the South Bronx. He owned it. With flashy cars and designer attire, he moved through the streets like a modern-day Ricardo, armed with gadgets that would make even James Bond envious. But despite the glitz, he remained ever vigilant, surrounded by loyal associates, and maintaining a product that was nothing short of elite. Each transaction flowed seamlessly, clockwork-like in execution. But, as the saying goes, the brighter the light, the more scrutiny it draws. Law enforcement was close on his tail. The feds were observing, cameras were rolling, and undercover agents were infiltrating his network. In 1987, a significant buy occurred, 88% pure heroin, marking the beginning of the end for George. By 1990, reality hit hard. He found himself facing a barrage of charges. 14 counts of drug distribution, firearms offenses, and tax evasion. They threw the book at him and he received a life sentence. Today, he resides in ADX Florence, the federal supermax prison, often dubbed the graveyard for incarcerated souls. There are no celebratory parades in the confines of its walls. Fast forward to 2022. His last plea for freedom was denied. The doors of his empire have firmly closed, leaving behind only whispers of what once was. Yet if you stroll through the Bronx today, you'll still hear the old-timers recounting tales of how Boy George flipped the game on his head. He ruled with the precision of a military general, clean, ruthless, and cunning. But as history shows, no matter how tightly you control the streets, the walls inevitably close in. Boy George Rivera, a teenage kingpin turned ghost behind bars. The rise, the rule, the ruin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the underworld, drop us a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss out on a fresh drop from Crimetown TV. These are real stories from real streets. Stay sharp, fam. That's all for today on Crimetown TV. Thanks for tuning in and taking this ride through the real stories behind the streets. If you want more legends, more hustle, and more truth from the block to the boardroom, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Drop a comment. Let us know who you want to hear about next. Until then, keep it locked and stay sharp. This is Crimetown TV, where the streets talk and we listen. See you next time. Peace.